everybody. This is meteorologist Andrew Pinero with this next weather update out in the elements. So I'm going to stand off to the side here, and we're going to see some very foggy conditions right now. It's not too bad in terms of temperature. It's about, 54 degrees as of this recording, and it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon right now. So it's fairly mild. It is fairly calm, but it is very damp. That humidity, obviously, with the fog, is 100%. So we have a pretty high humidity there with foggy conditions ahead of potentially some stormy weather coming up later. So, in the kind of scale of what looks like a typical synoptic scale weather pattern, as it's called, this is called the warm sector, where the warm front moved through, and that's what brought the warmer weather with the foggy conditions. So we're in the middle of that warm sector at the moment. Then we're going to have this cold front come through. And when the cold front comes through, that's when we're going to start to see a little bit of some potentially severe weather. Now, up near the New York City area, this is where I don't think it's going to be severe, but we're still definitely in the kind of like thunderstorm risk area. Now, if you start going a little bit more south, you start getting in New Jersey, the Philadelphia area, that's where the higher risk of some severe weather is. And when we take a look at the Storm Prediction Center plot here, let me just put that up at the moment. Now, on here, this is where we are seeing, again, a little bit further south. That's where we have some higher risk zones versus the more New York City area. So that's where, if you're around New York City or more north, we're really going to see maybe a rumble of thunder, and that's about it. We are still going to be seeing rain. If we have a pretty strong line more north of it, it could be a very quick, intense bit of rain, maybe without thunderstorm activity, but it still could have some very strong winds in there. We can be seeing gusts maybe like, say, 20 or 30 mile per hour gusts, but fairly quickly with this very thin line coming through with that cold front. So let me pull up a couple of models here. So the first one here, this is going to be the 3-kilometer NAM. And in this, we are seeing that very thin line of the thunderstorm activity. Now, with this, it's not severe, again, all the way through. There could be some thunderstorm activity on the northern tip of that thin line, but as we get a little bit more south, that's where we are seeing the higher chance of that severe weather. Now, let me take that down, and let me now put up the HRRR, the High Resolution Rapid Refresh. Now, this is usually a forecast model I use for same-day forecasting, which is what we're doing today. So in here, we're also seeing that fairly thin line that's pretty tight coming down, and it's fairly long, too. And again, that's where we could see more north, maybe some strong wind, some heavy rain, a rumble of thunder, but that's really about it. But as you start heading more south, southern Jersey, Philadelphia, getting a little bit more south of that, that's where the heart of that higher chance for severe weather lies. So that's really a recap of kind of what's going on for today. Now, for the rest of the week, once we get past today, it's really going to start clearing out a bit. We are going to have tomorrow some very windy conditions because as this low pressure system makes its way through, it's going to leave us with some very windy conditions for Monday. It starts to die down a little bit going into Tuesday. But then the next couple of days, it looks like it's going to be dry in the kind of New York City metro area. But then late Wednesday going into Thursday, that's where we could see a little bit more rain or a rain chance. Once you get more north, like Albany north, that's where we could see a little bit of mixing happening. After that, it looks like, again, Friday is going to be another fairly windy day. So that's pretty much the recap for the week ahead. Well, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see you in the next weather update.